Good evening, and good evening. Once more, this is yours truly, Dr. Luvuyo Bayeni, your host for DrBTalks. Yes, and we bring it live to you with our partners, Sowetan, having a simulcast broadcasting on Sowetan Live. Yes, and we are back yet for another Sunday episode of an exciting topic. I think this one, we must also remind each other that for the month of May, we have opted to look and focus on sports health. And we then decided to start the week and prepare ourselves mentally and just have some lessons as to how do we approach some of the sporting activities at competitive events, as well as preparing athletes in terms of mental state. We then went further. We then said, okay, let's now come back and see where do we start developing these athletes. And our answer was at school level. And we had a guest that was then taking us through, cautioning us, as well as empowering us on how we need to be supportive, encouraging, but importantly, to play a very much supportive and cautious role in terms of care, especially when it comes to athletes that are still at a school-going age. So we did areas of focus and concern when it comes to schools' health and sport. We then decided, let's go and take it to the big guns, which was now to deal with sports that are regarded as those sports that are contact by definition. But in the main, we were looking at just some of the common injuries that we deal with. But the lesson there was also that when we talk of contact sport versus concussion, let us not limit concussion to only contact sport. We had examples of other sports where there was some episodes of concussion. And yes, this is our week 4 of our exciting month, where we are looking at sports health. And we then said, maybe this was personal, that I have not been running Athule this week and this month and this year as much as I would love to, because I had an injury. And we said, how do people respond to injuries, especially the buzzword within the sporting fraternity of muscles, muscle cramps, muscle pains, muscle injuries. And you as therapists will talk of muscle recovery. So we said, let's come and talk about that. So today we are going to be looking at muscle recovery. And I have brought with I must say and confess maybe that this is my first time meeting Athule, and quite an interesting one. I saw a poster that was from a relative of hers, indicating that there is a service of muscle therapy, recovery therapy. And I looked at the post, I was like, we would be doing, and this was around January, February. I'm like, no, man, we would be having something on sports soon. Let me copy this post, let me keep it. And then a month later, I decided, no, man, at least I know the relative. I've worked with her when I was in Somerset East, through sports, social issues, as well as work issues. So I'm like, no, let me contact her and find out about this poster. Who is this person and what's happening? And then I got some poster sharing how her Excel services are. Then I said, okay, tell her that we are interested to host her on DrBTalks, but we have not decided when we are going to host her, but just alert her. And please put in a good word for me so that at least I can be able to, by the time I have some ground being played. And subsequent to that, when we finalized our schedule for the month of May, I know my team, when we were doing the list of topics, it's like, have you spoken to this one? Have you spoken to this one? I'm like, hey, man, we are going to get her. We are going to get her. So here we are today. And indeed, we did manage to get her to come and talk to us. And I would also give you an opportunity, Athule, to tell us and my viewers there as to who is Athule, and you introduce yourself. And just share with us who is Athule. Like I've said, it was a disclaimer on my side, so they mustn't blame me. But how, Dr. B, why am I some introducing Yana? I did my disclaimer. So, but also for me, it was exciting and interesting to see that in the space and how you had projected yourself. But we'll still come to that as we continue with the show. Please feel free to introduce yourself to our viewers of Dr. B Talks as well as Sowetan Live.
Okay. Hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you, Dr. B, for having me. My name is Athule Mpumlo. I am a sports science graduate. I'm a qualified sports massage therapist, and currently I coach netball. So, just a bit of a background. My passion has always been about helping athletes or active individuals recover better, prevent injuries. At some point, I wanted to become a sports and conditioning coach. And then I was like, no, man, I actually want to work with the rehab with injuries. So now my path is going down. Dokbana, I want to become a biokineticist. So yeah, that's me. And then one
Wow.
thing on my side that I'll always emphasize on is that yes, training is important, but recovery is as important.
Please note that you use some jargon that some of us don't know. We'll come back to that. You were saying you are conditioning, covering. All we know now, we
Okay.
just want athletes. So please park that. We're gonna come back to it
Mm-hmm.
and make sure at least we do get some insight when it comes to that. There you are. Thank you very much for that intro, and intrigued as well that you are even coaching
Hmm.
without being practice. I'm sure some of my viewers will be like, no, but when we look at you, you should be saying you are playing instead of saying you are coaching.
But I
Because
actually do play also. Mm. I
yes,
actually do play also. I'm an athlete also.
wow. No, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. To the viewers, thank you very much for tuning in. This is yet another episode of Dr. B Talks and part of the month theme, which is on sports health. And please continue to drop your comments on the comment section, as well as invite other viewers and share as wide as you can when it comes to people to come and join the session. And please feel free. This is your session. This is your conversation, and start sharing those experiences that you have. I know that some people were running Cape Town Marathon this weekend. Others
Yeah.
were training for their comrades. So many long run trainings that were taking place over the weekend. And of course, we still have people that are playing other sporting codes. Football was also continuing to play. And so please, I am sure most of our viewers have got an experience, have got a question, and would be interested to learn a thing or two when it comes to taking care of of their bodies and their physique, especially those that might have had experiences of some form of injuries or would be want to be cautious in terms of
Mm.
that space.
Injury
So
prevention.
we would encourage that people should feel free to drop comments, and we are going to be able to read them during the session to make sure that they become part of the conversation. Where do we start? Where do we start? Where do we start? Just share with us, maybe without spending much of time on that issue of the conditioning that you spoke about,
Mm-hmm.
just so people can get a sense. It sounded to me as if it is one of those preventative opportunities before we come to you assisting us with recoveries. And so, if you are just able to just take
Yes.
us through just briefly in terms of what that entails, what is it all about, but importantly, what value does it bring versus me who does not even, I've been running, I've never decided to say today I'm conditioned. I don't even know. Maybe I'm doing it, but I don't
Okay.
know it is. So yeah, just take us through that first, and then we'll proceed.
Okay. So I'll break it down simply like this, ne? So in a sports team setting, right, we would have a coach, ne? And then would have a sports and condition like strength and conditioning coach, I mean. And then we'd have a physio or a bio, and then we have a massage therapist. So what a strength and conditioning coach would do, strength and conditioning coach, you strengthen yourself and you're conditioning yourself, like you preventing injuries, before you even get to a point of when you're starting to play competitive sport or high intensity. And then in cases where you'd get an injury, right? It's the strength and conditioning coach that would refer you to ugqirha, about to a
Mm.
doctor or to the physio, right? And then after you attend your physio sessions, right, you go back to your strength and conditioning coach. The strength and conditioning coach now will be the one that determines, okay, is Dr. B ready to be in a competitive level again? Uku 30% now, we need to get him on 100%. Then ke ngoku those gym sessions come in, you have to go to the gym, lift up weights, you're able to get strength again. If
I also like that you're mentioning Dr. B as an example. I know I look like an athlete, so yeah, thanks for that. Thumbs up. There's potential. No, no, no. I must go back. No, no, no. I think now I get a sense, and I like that to say we've got different departments and there's this different focus. And obviously, I think one lesson that we can also share with our viewers, especially those that are active in sports management, and running clubs, is just to say, please make an effort to understand and respect that there are these different
yes, there's
departments and responsibilities.
responsibilities. Mhm,
You know, even if
mhm,
you
mm.
necessarily afford to have them, but just be
Mm.
mindful that
Mindful that.
there are these
Yeah.
different roles that are needed for supporting the
Mm,
athlete. And of course,
mm.
different for me is those of us who know that we've got experience, we've got
Yes.
training, and we've got qualifications on these different aspects.
Mm,
Please raise your
mm,
hand. I want to volunteer and offer my services to those clubs that are nearer to you. Obviously, with the time that you might have available to spare, just to go and
mm,
give a lesson, to go and give support,
mm.
if it's not the actual therapy that may be needed, but just for them to have an understanding of what you ought to
Mm.
offer as a service. So we would like to encourage as many people that are able to fit into the different aspects, and then they
Aspects,
can
yeah.
assist us in terms of helping those, especially the developmental teams, that
Teams,
would
yeah.
benefit from that. All right. Now I just have Oluvuyo just playing Jay now without even conditioning and
Yeah.
whatever. Boom, he
Uh,
was trying football
Yeah.
that he can't even kick a ball, and now all of a sudden he's got problems and
Injuries.
injuries. I think I
Back
would like
injuries.
to, yes, my interest would be on especially ensuring that we focus on issues that relate to muscle recovery in the
Muscle
main.
recovery.
So,
Yeah.
so I think
Yeah.
we will start with just focusing on saying, how would you define or how would you support to prepare someone to understand when you look at a muscle injury, or so that before we come to the recovery part, and what has been the experience that you
Mhm.
have, and what do you know in terms of just doing some sort of caution and heads up, so that Abo Luvuyo who are just running with their big heads and wanting to finish, ignoring some signs that, dude,
Mhm.
you've got an injury, why do you still want to continue to go and get that medal, and you're making things worse for yourself? Please take us through.
Okay, so before I go into that, ne, what I want to explain, Ala, it is what is muscle recovery. Yabo? So, because I think most people they don't understand that recovery is not optional. So when we
Mm,
speak
mm,
about muscle recovery, we are referring to the different methods or techniques given that would help the body heal after a physical activity or training or after muscle strain or injury, right? So those different methods, we'll talk about them a bit later on. So with
mm,
muscle recovery, it's just all about helping muscles recover properly, so they can function better, feel better, and perform better. And just
okay.
to note that recovery is not only just for professional athletes. It benefits obviously gym goers,
Mm.
active individuals, students in sport,
Oh,
and even people who like work like physically demanding jobs, like abantu who are always sitting behind desks. You will find that there's someone on a lower back pain. Angayazi what's going on. You have knots, you need to go for muscle recovery. You see those things. So I think it starts with not knowing that recovery is actually not optional.
Mm.
It's
No,
not optional.
I just want to um, swallow my pride and say, indeed, I have just been educated in terms of muscle recovery, especially
Recovery.
the last part where you're saying, guys, it is not an option. When your
It's not
body
an
has
option.
expressed that it has got
Mm.
challenges, it has run out of depth, please allow it to go and recover. And I like the fact that you are even exposing me that, yes, the topic was around sport, was around exercise, health, but now you are educating me, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, even our viewers, that other people are having the same muscle trauma, muscle injuries, or
Mhm.
muscle challenges without necessarily having been
They
into the
happen to play
exercise, the sports
sports.
world.
Yes.
And they also would benefit and need to be able to recognize that there is opportunities and options such as muscle recovery. And I think
Mhm.
also, yes, your gym goers, sometimes we take it as just a social thing, gym.
That's something.
Your
Yeah.
battery supply, yeah, but
Mm.
equally so, we need to be paying attention to issues of muscle recovery. And so, no, no, thanks for that. Yeah, yeah, no, I'm having a humble pie,
And
but it's
yeah.
yeah.
Into
Now
and
take us
from what I
through,
want to add also,
please.
um, what I want to add on, your body will tell you that no man, I need recovery. It's been a long time. Nah. Users wanna fatigue, number one,
Mm,
low energy, burnout, tightness, muscle tightness. Uphakama ebhedini uvuka ebhedini uqonda, hey, kutheni kubuhlungu apha emqolo or whatever. Your body is crying for recovery.
mm,
Your body is crying for recovery. So, and also it's a thing of when we go through exercise or training, né? Our muscles go through stress. Yabo? Like we develop tiny tears, bangathi siyaxazuka, ngathi we tearing apart. Yabo? And that's completely normal. But then
mm,
it's recovery that allows the body to repair those muscles properly. So they become back stronger. Yeah. So without proper recovery, you will experience fatigue, you will experience tightness, burnout, reduced performance. Wonqene nokwenza into engonqinisiyo. And obviously, with that, there's higher risk of injury. Ngiyaqonda? Yeah. For example, um, in netball or any other sport actually, or team sport, ngiyaqonda? If players are like consistently training and competing without proper recovery, yeah, but the body becomes overloaded. Bangathi uthwele into enzima nje. It becomes very overloaded. You start to experience muscle tightness, exhaustion, poor movement quality, sometimes pinda injuries, recurring injuries. You see, now this is where a periodization plan comes in. It's not what we're going to talk about today, but I just want to give you a clear idea that recovery is planned. It's not just random. Yeah, gone. So in a team sport, you'd have a periodization plan. Professionally, they call it ATP, which is annual training plan. Yeah, bon?
okay.
It's basically just it's just a structure to schedule training. Yabo. It helps organize training over like a period of time. It helps with athletes when they should do hard training, when training should be lighter, when recovery should be prioritized. Yabo. And it also helps organizing those zokuba, especially with the people who are like running marathons. It's
Mm,
for them
mm,
also, team sports or whatever. Yabo. So, for example, during times like that, tournament periods, athletes or active people would need to go and train lighter because obviously now it's during tournament time, it's games and all of that. Whereas in preseason, you'd have lighter sessions. Competition would demand a lot, so it needs lighter sessions. Yaqon? So that's just a plan to balance out competition demands and recovery so that the body can perform at its best. Yabo. And as I said, I won't go deep into that. It's just important to understand that recovery is planned, not random. So yabo goes back to Ndobana, it's not optional.
I here when I got you are just here to expose me. I've been calling myself a sports person, and I would give this impression, Uti, I know I am into this. Now you are exposing
Okay.
me. Just before I come in, I'd like us to
Mm-hmm.
just acknowledge your mom is so proud, by the way. Pumla is saying, there goes my girl, all the way from Somerset East, but it's fine. Thank you very much, Pumla, for joining and supporting us. But there's a
Okay.
direct component question or comment. In order,
Mm-hmm.
it's coming from Vyoga's cover. In order
Mm-hmm.
not to strain any muscles, what stretches does Ms. Mpumlo suggest, and how long in between training should a person go for muscle recovery? Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, that is actually something that I also wanted to touch base on, but let me just answer her.
Yes.
So obviously before you take part in an activity, we have something that we call a warm up, you warming up your
Mhm.
muscles, right? So you would have your dynamic stretches. Dynamic stretches are just to warm up your body for movement. Yakon? So you'd have your arm circles, your leg swings, your butt kicks, your high knees, and all of those, right? So not to strain my muscles, and also how long in between training should a person go for muscle recovery. If you're a very active person, ne, 1 or 2 sessions in a month for muscle therapy would be advised.
No,
Then if maybe you are in uh no, if
and
maybe
not so
you someone
active.
who's if someone who's very active or advanced or whatever, you do have sessions like once a week, which is 4 times a month. So I hope I answered that question. Before you do anything, any activity, dynamic stretches. You stretch before you do anything. And after you partake in that activity, you stretch. We call them static stretches, which is different from EE dynamic stretches. So with your static stretches, you'd have your hamstring stretch, your calf stretches, and yeah.
Uh, yeah. Yeah. No, I am so embarrassed now. I am so embarrassed. Actually, I feel like, no, I must stop saying that I've been injured because it looks like I have been a cause to my own injuries.
I'll,
All the
I'll
things you are
stretch.
mentioning,
Mm-mm.
uh,
Mm.
the stretches before, the
I'll
stretches after, the
stretch.
weekly recovery, and yeah.
Mm.
Um, yeah. Yeah, no. Thank you for that. And please, can I not be the only one who's confessing here? I know quite a number of people that are participating in sport and exercise, and I'm not the only one who has been the wrong one here. So please don't expose me. Let's see that there is Ovayo who is asking how often should people take on recovery methods? How intense should the training be in order for a
Mm-hmm.
person
Tends
decide
to the
to,
training being
and to recovery methods differ for certain sporting codes, for intense bodybuilding, rugby,
mm-hmm.
etc. Yeah.
Okay. So it goes back to the periodization plan, Bente. I don't want to go deep into it because I think it's a different topic on its own. Yeah, but so Uti, and how intense should be the training be in order for a person to decide? No, 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 no. I am being okubana intensity, right? Remember when you partake in like activities or when you play sport, ne, your muscle tears apart. Yeah, it tears apart. So recovery helps in dogmana your muscles repairishe. It helps to repair your muscles. So it shouldn't be a thing of bana, how intense should training be to decide bana when do I need to take a recovery or don't. If you do partake in activities or you are an active individual, your muscles will tear and you will need to take recovery to repair them. And I'm going to touch base on the benefits and also the different methods as we go. And
All right.
to answer the question, it does not differ per certain code. It not differ. Recovery does not differ. It's the same thing. Stretching, muscle therapy, go for a sports massage therapy, hydration. We'll touch base on those methods, but it's the same methods for all sports, nothing different.
I think we must just rush to go to and give you an opportunity to also look and share with us the methods, because I see our viewers are also interested now to get to understand and maybe make up their mind. But thank you very much to Ovayo as well for that insightful, and thank you, viewers, thank you for the feedback. But importantly for me, let's also encourage our viewers to continue to drop in comments and interact with us in the conversation, and continue to invite those that have not been joining us to come and not miss out. So we would let's allow you to touch on a different types and methods that you wanted to touch on. And we're noting a question from Pumla on osteoarthritis. We would come back to that, just so that at least if you are able to cover as you present the different methods that you wanted to touch on, and then we'll come back to the comments. Thank you very much. Let's keep the comments coming. Over to you, Athule.
Okay, I think I should touch base first on the benefits, and then we'll go down to the methods. Yeah,
yes.
Before, people must just understand the benefits of the different methods. So obviously there are many benefits to proper recovery. It helps in multiple ways, such as physically, mentally, and performance-wise, how you move daily. So firstly, physically, it does help reduce muscle soreness. It improves your flexibility, your mobility. Mobility is the ability to move, to translate it into simple terms. It helps the body recover faster after being active or training sessions or matches, or after going to the gym. This means the sooner you repair, the sooner you can go back to being active with better quality. With better quality. It improves blood circulation, which then delivers oxygen and nutrients to the muscles so they can heal more efficiently. Said your muscles, they tear when you are active. Yeah, gone. You are active. So with this being said, muscles to help them recover. Yeah, but not what.
Thank you very much. Well, that's what happens to live broadcasting, which we are very much priding ourselves with when it comes to bringing these conversations through at DrBTalks, simulcast broadcasting with Sowetan. And we are still sorting out the network connection issues and trying to bring her back on the broadcast. But in the meantime, let's also reflect on a couple of things that she has been able to share and raise with us. And obviously, starting with a reminder that when we talk of muscle recovery, I like her word, it's a clear instruction, guys. Please don't miss this one. It says you don't have a choice. It's something that you don't have an option. please give your muscles, your body some time to recover. But the second thing is that she has reminded us that we are not only looking at hardcore active people that are athletes. She even went as far as reminding us that even just the mere work exposure. Now it talks to our earlier conversation of conditions of service and conditions of work and how we take care of self. So even just sometimes being exposed to an uncomfortable wrong chair for a longer time may expose some of your back muscles, and you do need to allow that recovery as well. Sorry about that, Athule, and
So sorry.
welcome back. No, that's fine. Our viewers understand.
Okay.
Basically, we even brag as DrBTalks and Sowetan that we bring it live. And of course, we do welcome you back. And sorry for that disruption as well. You may continue.
Oh, okay. I was speaking on the benefits, right? And I touched
Yes.
based on it's benefiting it, like it improves your blood circulation, right? So blood circulation is what helps deliver oxygen and nutrients to your muscles so that they can heal. Remember, I said your muscles, when you are active, they tear apart. They're gonna like tiny tears. So the oxygen and nutrients delivered to your muscles efficiently. Yebo. So over time, Londo gaze our supporter better movement, better muscle function, and fewer injuries. Yebo. So for like from a performance point of view, like athletes can go. Yebo. Athletes will be able to stay more consistent in playing instead of training and playing while fatigued or tight muscled or soreness in the muscles. They're able to perform at a higher level more regularly. What I mean about higher levels, like higher intensity, because remember intensity, nuke, yeah, and then mentally, what people overlook kakhulu is mental is how it helps mentally. Recovery plays a very big role when it comes to mental health within abantu who are active or athletes. Obviously, when the body feels good, you feel more confident to play,
Oh,
or you feel more confident to be on the field. You feel less stressed. You feel more focused. So it reduces that feeling of oh, like burnout. It helps you stay motivated throughout the match or last time in your training cycle. So overall, it doesn't just make you feel better. It directly improves your performance and your long-term development as an athlete or umdu or active, if I put it that way.
actually, you're just telling
Yeah.
us that that line of mind, body, and soul, it's not just a line. If we don't take care of our body, even if we can say how much we want to mentally claim to be ready. If there is a
Mhm,
problem and a challenge with the body and there was not enough recovery, that will also come
mhm,
back as a spin-off in terms of being negative to say, yes, mentally you are
mhm,
telling yourself, but your body is reminding you, but dude, we have not
mhm,
recovered. So calm down, stop this excitement and whatever.
mhm,
So I think it's a good reminder as well because
mhm,
sometimes we do emphasize that be mentally ready for and be prepared,
mhm,
but now you are also saying it doesn't go alone. You must also
mhm.
pay attention to these issues of muscle recovery as well. So thank you so much for that. And I think just before we go to your methods,
Eh.
and also to instance, yes, to then give you that chance. The other issue that you had mentioned and you raised very sharply is people must understand the even the thought process behind as well as the physiology behind and the training behind that at the end of the day this recovery is important to
Mhm,
even improve. And I like how you explained it, that the circulation, the oxygen supply and all that, because indeed these
mhm,
muscles needs to be fed. Yes, let's feed the
mhm.
muscles, and if you are not allowing recovery, you are then
Recovery.
gonna
You are
create
not.
an unfed
Yes.
muscle. You are gonna be
Mm,
depriving and creating poverty for the muscle. and now it would not be able to function and give you the optimal. I'm just trying to be as simple as I can from Ngandosi so that I don't miss out on these matters. So yeah, so let's understand how these things are working together, guys. As much as you would want to go for muscle fitness, you're always on the gym, you think you are ready. This is an important aspect to say it is a package. Don't look at just one aspect. This becomes a package. So I think it's one of the issues. I'm not sure. Let's just check if there are any questions that we would like to respond to before we proceed. Yes, there is this one. You can read it if you can see on your side, and then you can take us through.
Yes, no, I'm suffering from arthritis in my hip joint, my right knee, lower back, spine, and ankle. What can Ms. Mpumlo suggest? Okay, so number one, ne, I am not doubting, yeah, but I do work hand in hand with a physiotherapist because we work hand in hand. Yeah. So what I can advise Umna, I am not diagnosing. I am advising and suggesting, right? Obviously, when you have a hip joint, ne, you are suffering from ichastic hip joint, ne, your hip, your knee, and your ankle, they work hand in hand. Oh, I'm by. Yeah, so immediately when you have a problem in one of those places or in one of those joints, yabo, enye izawusafarish or ezinye zizawusafarish. So what I would advise is that stretches, stretches. Yeah, because remember, now that you have hip joint ebuhlungu, now you are making your lower knee suffer because now it's working over time. Yeah. So what I would advise is stretching your knee and stretching your ankles. Yeah. So that they are ready to work over time because they are overloaded. Yeah, when they're now working alone, they're doing each job your hip joint. Yeah. So now I'll just advise the stretches that I've been talking about before movement. Stretch. There's a thing that's called okay, there's what I usually do with my kids that I coach, ne. Umntu mhlawumbi asprayine ankle yakhe while playing, right? What
We seem to be having some delayed transmission there. And we hope we're not going to lose her once more. But I think just in addition, as we are waiting for her to get back, is that I think at the end of the day, when we do have some diagnosis that we have, obviously it's important that we all follow the management plan that is there. But also, we do continue to update, give feedback, or do indicate when, especially when it comes to the issues that relate to the management or threshold of pain, so that if there is adjustments that needs to be made to your current treatment, then that needs to be attended to. But also if there needs to be a review even of the diagnosis, we can then have a chance to look into that. But I also want us to remember and also take a cue from what Athule was mentioning as well, that we may also need to involve other professionals who form the multidisciplinary team of taking care of athletes. As she was also indicating that physio will also have a role to play in such a situation. Obviously, notwithstanding that if there was serious issues of fracture, then orthopods will also play a role in understanding and seeing how far we can. And I see there's also a management plan of a potential replacement thereof in terms of surgical intervention. So let's treat it as a package. In terms of understanding that there is multidisciplinary team, and as she mentioned, that some of the advice will be some of the ways to mitigate or try and reduce the pain threshold thereof in between, and advising even when you get off the bed. So thank you very much, Pumla, for that. Let's see if there is another comment or question from the viewers for us to look into, whilst we are also trying to ensure that we do bring her back on the platform. And thank you very much, Malemo Makolo. You saying that the girl must go, and it's you who chased the girl, and the girl is gone. But we are gonna bring her back. But thank you very much for the support. We really do appreciate that. And yes, please, as we are gonna go through the question again, and she is coming back. Let's also please, if we're still here and we know that we are getting some lessons, let's show some love, let's show some thumbs up, let's keep them running, let's punch on those, so that at least we are able to continue and share and inform you on the issues that are there. Welcome back, Athule, and you just came in when Buhle was posting a question to say, what external things should one stay away from while busy with muscle recovery? For an example, any type of foods, things that make you stress, or pills that you may have to go slow on. In other words, can your mental health or thinking affect the rate at which your muscles are recovering at? I hope that was clear, and you may come in. Thank you.
Oh, definitely. The last question where you said, in other words, can your mental health or thinking affect the rate? Oh, definitely. Um, a practical example would be someone like a professional athlete, ne? A professional athlete injury, family injury, and then now because they can't go back on playing because now the injury is messing with them mentally, right? So when you get an injury, what you go through, you have to go through a physiotherapist, you have to go through a sports psychologist. You see, so definitely your mental health and thinking can affect the muscles at which I mean the rate at which your muscles are recovering at, right? And then when you say um the I'm not a nutritionist, ne, but I did nutrition in in varsity. Yeah, but so foods that would help with muscle recovery would be foods like protein, your green leafy foods, like on veggies. Protein, when I say protein, I mean lean meat, your chicken breasts, as pick and don't overcook them because now the benefits zizawulahleka, yabo. So yes, there definitely are things that you have to slow down on, especially if you are someone that can be, you're someone that smokes or you're someone that drinks. It will affect your recovery, like it will, and it's gonna show. When you're thinking about, yo, I'm not putting in the work. No, there's things that you need to get rid of. Yes,
Thank you. And now I
I jump
usually,
into.
all right, now I usually jump into exercise. I try to always stretch after I work out. You know what's funny? I would even skip a video where there is a warm up part. I am learning. I think, thank you for joining me in my confessions, Tulisa, because I was worried that, hey, man, people are just letting me be the only one who's airing my
Yeah.
dirty linen out there. So yes, we do have those moments that and sometimes I think it would have been a question of not necessarily having been as informed, as educated, and this conversation is indeed giving a different perspective, and it's allowing us to know and approach things differently. And so at least now we do know that we would need to take into account the stretch before, the stretch after, in terms of supporting with the muscle recovery. And yes, others are saying age is aging, and we do acknowledge that, but it doesn't mean we can't do anything about it. You'll be surprised in races, you get to be shocked when at the back you see the ages of some of the runners, and you're like, you 77, 71. So yeah, age should not be an excuse, colleagues. Let's go and see what is it that comfortably, and the big word being comfortable as well, that we can participate in terms of exercise and sport. There is another comment, which was about nutrition and what foods accelerate recovery. I think she has already touched on it to say, one, for more information and a plan that deals with your dietary needs or nutrition, especially when it comes during recovery, a nutritionist will be more adequately to advise. However, she did indicate that, yes, in terms of principle, there are foods that we already know that would benefit and help us. And she did mention issues of greens, meat, issues of even your meat, lean meat. Yes, I hate lean meat. Yes, not just meat. Please, Luvuyo, don't just go and want to consume chisanyam. Lean meat. So she did indicate that we can have some benefits from some of the food types. And also she does say that when it comes to even your mental state, this time and the duration of recovery may be affected by that, because you need to be able to understand that you need to avoid stressful situations, and you will be able to be free to that. So I think, Ovayo, that also answers your comment and question on nutrition, because she did even touch on that. Let's go. Hey, yeah, no, before we forget, you still were supposed to take us through your methods.
Oh, methods, yes.
Yes. We'll come
Okay,
back to more
recovery
common questions.
techniques and methods.
Yes.
Okay, recovery techniques and methods would include, number one, the one in question, sports massage, right? As I said, a sports massage is the one that helps with blood circulation. It reduces my muscle tightness. Actually, after this, I want us to go touch base the difference between a spa massage and a sports massage, because people tend to, yes. Okay.
Okay.
So the sports massage would be number one. Number two, stretching. I did mention dynamic stretching before. Dynamic is for before the activity. When you wake up in bed, those are the dynamic stretches that you're supposed to be doing before you move your body. And then static stretching would be after an activity. When you come back from work, do those back stretches to reduce stiffness throughout the day and improve your flexibility and movability. Mobility, I mean. And then one that is overlooked very much, hydration and nutrition. Hydration and nutrition. It now goes back to what I was saying again. When you are active, your muscles, they do okay, they have tiny tears. Bangathi ziyaqazuka. Yaqonda? So with hydration and nutrition, remember, ne, when I was speaking about blood circulation, where oxygen is taken through the blood, and nutrients also to get to the muscles to repair. This is where it comes in, hydration and nutrition. If you're not drinking enough water, or if you're not eating properly, your body won't have enough team. It won't have enough strength, or it won't have enough of nutrients, yabon, to repair itself. Remember, when your muscle tears, it repairs itself again. And when it repairs itself, it becomes stronger than it was before. Yabon. So hydration and nutrition are very important. How you eat, and when you eat, timing is also important. You see. And then I also want to touch base on rest and sleep. This is what most people commonly do. Rest and sleep are essential, yes. A lot of recovery happens during sleep. It, like your body is repairing itself during your sleep. But remember now, all of these techniques, they go hand in hand. You
Mm.
cannot, I can't stress this enough, you cannot expect that your body your body will be repairing itself while you are asleep, but you do not eat well, or you do not drink enough water. Yabo, repairing, yabo. And then no meat. You do eat inyama, yes. Protein is what works for muscle recovery. protein. So also enye would be ice or cold therapy. Yabo. This helps with inflammation or muscle soreness after an intense training or activity. Yeah, gone. So what you'd see in most team sports would be into zokubana they after playing they have an ice bath. Yeah, they have an ice bath
Oh,
that helps
yes.
with inflammation. Yes, it helps with inflammation. It helps with muscle soreness. Yeah, but so as long as it's indo, it works hand in hand, hand in hand, hand in hand, hand in hand.
Yeah,
And yeah.
I like when you started and you say you cannot overemphasize this enough that we can't expect one to work without the other.
Mm,
So it's important that we need to be able to understand that um, these techniques they complement each other, and
mhm,
we should always understand that the one would not necessarily take over for the other. Let's now look at the comments that have come up as well. Hi all, if I may ask, this recovery mode helps when people are overfit in our old Kasi language, when players are stiff and we say we are overfit, that when we need recovery and we never had schedule or we just train. I think in basically it's just for you to go back and remind and maybe clarify some of these concepts and misnomer and myths that
mm,
the term is associated with people being fit instead of, like you said at the beginning, it's non-negotiable. It's the body that needs it over and above everything else.
yeah. So I think we can move on to the difference of a spa massage and a sports massage.
Oh yes, oh yes,
Yes.
yes. So you want to tell us that we must stop saying we've been to a massage only to find we were just at the spa. All right, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Shoot, we're listening.
Oh, I'm faking. I'm not laughing at you guys. But okay, it's something that I've experienced this year when I was starting with my massages. I massaged this businessman. At the end of the massage, uthi kumana, I thought it was you'd be giving me gowns and drapes and whatnot. I'm like, a spa massage and a sports massage are two different things. Yeah, but luckily at the end of the session, even he didn't know that he actually needed a sports massage therapist. Yeah, so what I want to emphasize on is that a spa massage, it mainly focuses on relaxation and stress relief. Relaxer
Okay.
with candles, with gowns, and all of that. It's gentle. Kokubamba kamandi, gentle, it's calming, it's designed. It's designed to help you unwind both physically and mentally. Yeah, gone. So with a sports massage now, right? Ngibanga when I compare sports massage with physiotherapy, okay, when I explain to people, ne, I say, look at a physiotherapist, right? When you go to the physio, you won't find gowns. When you go to the physio, you won't find candles. When you go to the physio, you will just find Dogbana, okay, I'm here to actually exercise. So even the way you dress, I'm expecting you, pulses are for a session, ube unxibe mhlawumbe active way, unxibe your shorts and a vest. Or uyaqonda into ezinjalo. Ungafiki ngokunxibe isuti yakho and then you're expecting to get a gown, and you're expecting to go change and get a gown. No. No. So what I want to emphasize on is that sports massage, it focuses on recovery, like it focuses on the rehab, it focuses on how you perform, it focuses on preventing injury. Yaqon? So when you go for a sports massage, you are going to Zautin. We targeting specific muscles, that are tight.
Okay.
Yeah, over time you have a tight muscle here. I will go in deep on that specific muscle. Yabo. Muscles that are injured or overworked. Yaqon? So the technique is more focused and it's sometimes deeper. As I'm saying,
mm,
it's
mm.
deep tissuing. You go in deep. So the goal is to actually improve muscle functioning and support recovery. So to put it in simple, spa massage is for relaxation, and then sports massage is for recovery and performance or even rehabilitation.
There you have it, guys. Yes, please, if you are participating in sport and you do know that you have not been to a sports therapist or sports physio or sports massage, please do note that all the other massages you were necessarily going to were categorized as a spa, and by virtue, it was more leisure and relaxation. And of course,
Mhm,
I think it's an important lesson that we sometimes maybe do have a risk of wanting to think that they are interchangeable or they are the same. And you would hear people loosely saying that, no, I've been to a
mhm,
massage, or I'll book myself a spa after this long race, this hard race, this heavy season, or this hectic exercise. So I think it's a good lesson that you are sharing with us, and that we must change our mindset. And now, even when we book, let's please be mindful that we need to be able to book
mhm,
and secure and plan to assist our body and go for physio and sports massages and make sure
mhm.
that we participate in the recovery. This is the only thing that becomes a threat in Dr. B Talks time. I see we have been on for the last 56 minutes, which means now we are left with just 4 minutes of our program. And wow, time flies, and time flies. Quickly, before I we go towards closure, just touch on a few things that you think maybe we might have not have touched on that relate to the awareness around recovery therapy and muscle recovery.
Oh, okay. This out injury prevention and long-term performance, and also signs when you need recovery. Yeah. So just to sum it down, recovery is not about treating pain after it happens. Recovery is not about treating pain after it happens. Keyword after. Yabon?
Mm,
It's about preventing. It's about preventing injuries before they happen.
mm,
preventing preventing injuries before they happen. So the routines or the techniques that I have given, those proper routines that help you maintain your body over time, like they improve your long-term performance. As I said, they work hand in hand. Like God. And then obviously, if you are an active individual who would recover properly, usually you are more consistent because your body is well maintained. Ingqondo yakho is well maintained. So to
mm,
sum it up, recovery does support relativity when you're an active person, and especially in sport. Yeah, God. And then signs that your body would need your body would show you, okay, would give out that you need recovery. Just constant soreness. Uzibuze bendibethe kephi? No, your muscle needs to be repaired.
mm, mm,
Uzibuze ubethe
mm,
kanye when you look like you're bleeding from the inside, those are blood clots.
mm,
They need to be released. Those are blood clots. They need to be released. You are bleeding from the inside. Yeah. Well, fatigue, tight muscles, low energy, usonqana nento ongayaziyo, reduced performance, xa umane usiba injured but like indawo eyi-one, recurring injuries,
you.
ankle injury all the time and all of that. Yeah, I think that's all that I didn't touch base on. Otherwise, yeah. But to close off, to close off, I can't stress this enough. Recovery should not be treated as an option. It's not optional. It is not optional. It should be part of your routine. It's
Mm,
part of your
mm,
training routine, you see, because as I said, being active, your body breaks down, your body tears down, but recovery
mm,
it is what um brings it stronger. and be able to perform better on. So you perform better, recover better, stay healthier, prioritize recovery. So the simple message is recovery is part of training, not separate from it. Recovery is part of training, not separate from it. Thanks. And I thank you.
Yeah, just as you prepare on how you're gonna share with us your punchline on what services you offer, and and also how people can get hold of you. But I know you're gonna give us your poster as well for us to share on DrBTalks. Please also
Yes.
check your diary. I think I may need to come and book. I think I've embarrassed myself more than enough for today. So
Yeah.
I need to just put an action and come and book. No, thank you very much. It is now exactly on the hour mark, and we always are mindful of the time because we value, we appreciate, and we always want to be responsible when it comes to our viewers because we book and we secure them. You see now, when you talk of planning, we plan at DrBTalks that we are going to spend an hour with our viewers, and we always try and make sure that we keep within that. So it's been one of those sessions, and yes, let's continue to put on those hearts, those thumbs up to show indeed that we do have appreciation of the lessons that we were given from the session. But importantly for us, it's just a reminder to say here on DrBTalks, so it's in live simulcast broadcasting, we bring them live and fresh, and it's conversations that are meant to assist, empower, and refresh us when it comes to healthcare and activities that relate to our lifestyle. So thank you very much for always tuning in, and appreciate your support as you continue to put on your thumbs up, your hearts, your hugs, whatever you want to punch, and we do appreciate. Let's just quickly check with the team if there are any comments that we would need to just touch on before we close, so that we don't miss on those. And whilst we are doing that and checking comments, Athule, please just share your last words in terms of when are you available. Abantu bakho ke kwanoJoli are saying you must come and open your own rooms so that we can also come and be your clients. And the one is saying they would like to be the first ones when you do open the rooms. How are you available? What services are you offering? And as we are gonna knock off now.
Okay, so I offer sports massage therapy. Yeah, that's what I offer. But at the moment, I am a bit under construction again, because I was working at a clinic and then things happened. So now I am trying to find my feet again and find a space where I can work on myself or under myself.
All right.
But it won't
No, thank you
be
very much.
anything longer than
Yes.
a month. I already have a plan.
Okay.
No,
All
I
right.
already have a plan. Yeah.
So now my appointment must wait for a month. That's so sad, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm also going to be the first client when you come back to your feet. And please do feel free to share with us so that one of the issues that and opportunities we offer in DrBTalks is that a way of appreciating our guests is to offer them a platform to share, express, and distribute their information when it comes to the services that they have or they offer. So please feel free when you have finalized and have that poster that you would like to share with your services to share with us at DrBTalks so that we can share with the audience and the DrBTalks family. So we really do appreciate that. And that brings us to the end of the session today. And yes, my people from Somerset East, kwanoJoli, all the way from Sarapatman, it's been a long while. Yes, thank you very much for your guys' cover for that. Let me take this opportunity, Athule, to thank you very much for availing yourself for the conversation, the empowerment that you have given us. And we would like to also thank to our viewers that continue to support us, as well as our Sowetan team. And this has been yet another exciting episode of DrBTalks. We are going to meet next week, same time, same place. And we continue to encourage you to share the message, invite as many people to be the ones to follow us both on the Facebook page as well as on our YouTube channel. That's it for the evening. And thank you very much. Have a blessed week ahead.
Okay.